Have you ever wondered whether depression, a mental health condition affecting millions worldwide, makes one broken or less capable? It's a thought-provoking question, isn't it? It's time to have a candid conversation about it. Let's delve into the reality of depression, this silent epidemic that's been shrouded in stigma and misconceptions for far too long. It's time to challenge our perceptions and understand the true nature of this condition. In this video, we aim to debunk the myth that depression equates to brokenness. Depression is more common than you may think. This statement is not an exaggeration. According to the World Health Organization, more than 264 million people globally wrestle with depression. It's a figure that is both staggering and sobering, highlighting the sheer prevalence of this mental health condition. Depression is a universal challenge, crossing all borders, ages, and social strata. It is not a condition reserved for a particular group of people, but rather a shared human experience that can affect anyone at any time, regardless of their circumstances. The impact of depression extends beyond the individual. It permeates families, relationships, and communities. It's a ripple effect that can transform lives, often leaving a trail of emotional devastation in its wake. The economic cost is also significant. According to a study by the World Economic Forum and the Harvard School of Public Health, the global economic loss due to depression and anxiety was estimated to be $1 trillion annually. Depression is not just about feeling blue or down in the dumps. It's a complex and serious mental health condition characterized by persistent sadness, a lack of interest or pleasure in activities, and a continual feeling of emptiness or hopelessness. These symptoms can be debilitating, often affecting an individual's ability to function at work, at school, or in their personal life. It's important to note that depression is not a sign of weakness or a character flaw. It's a health condition, like diabetes or heart disease. And like these conditions, depression can be managed and treated. There are effective therapies and medications that can help people with depression to live healthy and fulfilling lives. But to get there, we must first understand depression for what it truly is. We need to dispel the myths and misconceptions that surround it and foster an environment of empathy and understanding. We must also encourage those who are struggling to seek help and let them know that they are not alone in their battle. These figures and facts underscore the importance of understanding depression and combating the stigma associated with it. Despite these staggering numbers, misconceptions and stigma about depression persist. In a world often shrouded by misconceptions, depression is no exception. Many view it as a sign of weakness or a symbol of brokenness. But let's clear the air here. Depression is neither. It is not a character flaw or a personal failing. It is a medical condition, just like diabetes or hypertension, and it deserves the same level of understanding and compassion. These misconceptions about depression, unfortunately, don't just exist in a vacuum. They can be harmful, leading to blame and isolation for those affected. Imagine feeling unwell, and instead of receiving care, you're met with judgment. You're told to snap out of it, or just be positive. This lack of understanding can make those suffering from depression feel even more alone, adding to their emotional burden. And where do these misconceptions come from? Well, societal attitudes and media portrayals play a significant role in perpetuating these mistaken beliefs. The media often depicts depression as a romanticized or dramatized state, feeding into the misconception that it's a choice, a lifestyle, or worse, a trend. This portrayal can make it difficult for people to recognize the true face of depression, leading to further misunderstanding and stigma. Societal attitudes, too, often stigmatize those with mental health issues, fostering an environment of judgment and discrimination. We live in a society that often values productivity over mental health, an attitude that can exacerbate feelings of worthlessness and guilt in those experiencing depression. But let's change the narrative. Let's replace judgment with empathy, misunderstanding with education, and stigma with support. Because when we do, we create a society that not only understands depression, but also supports those who are battling it. These misconceptions can create barriers to seeking help, further exacerbating the problem. So let's start breaking down these barriers, one misconception at a time. Because no one should have to fight depression alone. And remember, having depression doesn't make you broken, it makes you human. Contrary to these misconceptions, depression does not equate to brokenness. It's crucial to understand that people living with depression are not broken, but are in fact resilient. Their lives are a testament to their strength and ability to endure. Each day, they grapple with a condition that is largely misunderstood, yet they continue to forge ahead, proving that they're anything but broken. Consider the stories of people who have managed their depression and have gone on to lead fulfilling lives. There's the accomplished artist who, despite battling bouts of depression, uses her experiences to create profound and emotive works of art. There's the successful entrepreneur who, in the midst of his depression, found the strength to start a business that now employs hundreds. There's the loving parent who, while managing their own depression, raises compassionate and well-adjusted children. These individuals are not broken. They are resilient and inspiring. Depression is not a life sentence of despair and incapacity. It does not diminish one's worth or potential. It is a part of their journey, a chapter in their book, but it does not define the whole story. Just like anyone else, individuals with depression have dreams, goals, and the potential for greatness. The importance of seeking help cannot be overstated. It's okay to ask for support, and it's okay to need it. There are many treatment options available, each tailored to meet the unique needs of the individual. Therapy, medication, lifestyle changes, and support groups are just a few of the resources that can make managing depression more manageable. It's not about fixing what's broken, but about learning to navigate life with depression. In the end, it's important to remember that having depression is not synonymous with being weak or broken. It's about understanding that depression is a condition, not a character flaw. It's about recognizing the strength and resilience of those living with depression. Depression is not a sign of weakness or brokenness, but a testament to the strength of those who live with it every day. We've covered a lot of ground today. We've talked about depression's widespread prevalence, debunked harmful misconceptions, and underscored the fact that it doesn't mean you're broken. Instead, it's part of the human experience, a condition that affects many but doesn't define them. It's essential to remember that depression isn't a character flaw or a sign of weakness. It's a part of life for many, just like joy and sorrow. Remember, depression is a condition, not a character flaw. It doesn't make you broken, it makes you human.